She is my daughter. They all turned to see a lady standing at the door. Her ran towards the lady and hugged her legs as she picked her up and gave a peck on her cheek. Takashi, you came early. How can I leave you alone in such a big deal? Wayne smiled at her and turned to face Jungkook with cold expression. Then Wayne spoke. So Mr. June, Ara is my personal secretary, the daughter. But from Ara's birth, I'm also with her, that's why she is also close to me. While when she called me Mama at reception because she thought Takashi was also with me, Wayne said with cold face, while Jungkook was feeling a little embarrassed on his action. I'm sorry, Wayne, Before he spoke more, Wayne cut him off, saying, It's Miss Park for you. We don't have any personal relation. It will be better if we have a business talk now. Jungkook nodded as Takashi handed Ara to J-Hope and he left office with Ara while Takashi also sat beside Wayne. Jimin will be here anytime with deal papers. Jungkook said with some awkward expression or guilt. Wayne in her mind, I should have told him before now. He's embarrassed but why I care. It was an awkward silence until Takashi broke it. Mr. June, here, these are all our requirements, you can check them. Jungkook got the file from Takashi and started to review it, and Takashi checked her iPad for more info. While Wayne started to stare at him from now here, Wayne in her mind, this hurt isn't to itself, but it doesn't hate the person whom it belonged to. This hurt within itself created a dim world of its own. Someone came close and someone goes far away, but why this happen only when it's come to you? Because when the problem of love catches you, this heart deceives itself. This heart does as it please. It has learned the art of stealing hearts. These are the weaknesses of this heart. She chuckled in her own thoughts. She sat straight with a straight expression when Jungkook spoke. I take all the responsibilities of these requirements, no need to worry. He sat with a little smile looking at Wayne, but Wayne just looked at him with cold expression. Then it's good, we would like to see your deal and then proceed everything on next step. Sure. Just then Jimin entered an office. Welcome to Korea, beautiful lady. Wayne and Takashi got up from their chairs and hugged Jimin as they greeted each other. Jimin looked at Jungkook who was sitting there with mouth hung open. Close your big mouth or Fly will go inside. If it happens, you deserve it, Jimin whispered, laughing to Jungkook. Jungkook rolled his eyes. So here is the file, you guys can check all the points and do a sign here. Jimin handed the file to Takashi. President Jimin, I would like to see your stylist and dressing room with your new collection. Is it available? Sure, please come. Takashi nodded and left with Jimin, while Jungkook and Wayne were left alone in office with an awkward atmosphere. It is cold here, isn't it? Wayne shook her head, sparing a little glance at him. Jungkook rubbed back of his neck slowly and tried to start a conversation. I'm again sorry about Ara and no, I already said it's okay. Oh, great. Jungkook in my eyes, Jungkook. Can't you talk casually? But how? Should I sit like this and talk? Or should I talk with bold voice? No, I should talk calmly. While Jungkook was thinking this in his mind, Wayne was looking at him all confused as he was moving weirdly. Wayne in mind, why he's moving like this? Wait, do you need to pee or because I'm here, he can't go? But how can I tell him to go? This is so awkward. But then suddenly, actually both of them said together, you can talk first. No, you talk first. I said you first. No, you should, ladies first. I still remember you were same like this on our first date. Wayne chuckled while saying, oh, like you were so bold. But then both of them realized what they just said. Jungkook cleared his throat and was about to say something, but then office door opened revealing Jimin and Takashi. So Miss Takashi, I hope you like our concept. Yeah, it was so glorious and eye-catching. Jimin straightened his collar and proud. Jungkook, wouldn't you invite them? For what? Jimin face palmed himself for today's greeting party, Mr. CEO. Jungkook awkwardly smiled at his carelessness. Yeah, actually Miss Wayne and Miss Takashi. As we got such a big project to do, so today is our greeting party. And we will be so grateful if you and your team join us. We would love to, Mr. June. Now we will like to take our leave. See you soon. Jungkook nodded while smiling as Wayne and Takashi left the office. She already left. Stop staring in that way like a creep, smiling continuously, Jimin said, as Jungkook was staring at Wayne back until he got out of his sight. Now it's love, you can't understand the feeling of pure love. Jungkook said while placing a hand on his heart, saying dramatically while Jimin gave him a disgusted look. In evening, why this is so difficult, what should I wear for tonight? Van was sitting in a sea of dresses around her room, while Aura was sitting on bed beside her eating chocolate and looking at Aura and sulking. But Aunt Vian, you always wear random clothes without cure. Aura said while munching on chocolate as Vian looked at her with a pout. Then Takashi spoke. Absolutely, Aura is right, Vian. It's our first time seeing you like this. Before this, you always random choose a nice dress and wear it. But do you want to impress someone tonight? Takashi asked while wiggling her eyebrows as Aura giggled at Vian's words. Because without answering, Vian threw herself on clothes, laying on them. Maybe, but why? Mama, come here. Aura gestured Takashi with her small finger to come near her. As Takashi came to her, she whispered in her ear, Did Vanya found her prince? Because I saw in TV when princes want to meet her prince, she can't select her dress easily. Takashi made a thinking face and said, Maybe yes, and she want to impress him. Both of them did a high five, and Takashi picked Aura from bed and said, Fine, I'll take Aura to jail. We are getting late because get ready fast, as their company driver is going to pick you up. Their company driver, and why me alone? What about you? Because I have some important work to do and Jungkookff will take care of Aura behind us. That's why I already called President Jimin. He will send a car and driver for you. So be fast and get ready. Let's go, baby. Aura and Takashi left one room as one again laid on her clothes. Am I alive? She slapped herself. Yes, I am. Then why it's so trust ready to select a dress? Time skipped after 100 years. Finally, one got ready wearing an elegant dress as it is just made for tonight's party. No doubt why fashion industry started to work with me. Park Vian, you are the best. She blew a flying kiss to herself as she was standing in front of a mirror. But then she got a message from Takashi saying her driver is waiting in the car. Vian picked her purse and walked out to go ground floor. As she came out of building a white Bugatti, Viren was standing. She walked forward with the voice of her heels tapping the floor in sync. As she reached the car, the driver's side window got down and Vian looked at driver with a shocked look. You? Now what are you doing here? Waiting for you as it's my responsibility to pick you up. But where is the driver that President Jimin sent it? How can I tell her it's only me? There was no driver. Actually, that driver need to go home urgently. That's why. Yes, please come inside and sit. Vian made a confused but got no other choice, so she went to other side and when Vian walked toward others, Jungkook lightly loosed his tie. As he was feeling hot, he whispered to himself, why she need to look this and be confident. You are a CEO. As Jimin Hyung said, you can do it. Van sat on passenger seat, keeping her one leg on another that exposed her upper leg because of the pencil design dress. And Jungkook gulped while decreasing the car temperature to keep himself cool. Why are you decreasing the temperature level? Oh, it's just hot here. Van nodded slightly as Jungkook started to drive the car until they reached the venue. The ride was full of silence, but not the awkward one, a calm one. That feeling each other existed against each other made it calm like in spring cherry blossom tree leaves fall without making any noise. At party venue, red carpet with reporters standing on side camera light flashing until it became difficult to see properly, and guards standing in their positions. Jungkook got out of car and went on and said, even if they have personal issues, but in front of the world, they need to look professional. Jungkook opened her sidecar door and gave his hand so she can hold it. As Vian held Jungkook's hand while coming up, a spark ran through his body, and his bunny smile flashed on his face like beautiful cold wind in spring season. Can we? Jungkook forwarded his elbow to Vian. She grabbed it softly and nodded as the shining couple of night, the title going to be tonight's highlight, walked on red carpet while waving and went inside the venue. As they entered the hall, being center of attention, everyone looked towards them, and many businessmen with their partners came to greet them. Where, as many people were happy to see them working together, but some were also jealous, but who cared? Jungkook started to talk with his business fellows as Vian too, because there were many models and actor or actresses. I will just leave for 5 minutes, excuse me. Jungkook went to other group to meet someone as Vian sat on a free table as her toes were turning red because of heel pressure and the dress he was wearing. Just then someone came and sat beside. You look more beautiful personally, Miss Powerful I am. Vian looked at the person. He was a guy around her age in red suit. and his looks were also good to satisfy any female around. But these things doesn't affect Ryan because it's her daily life to meet and see this type of people. But she still have to manage her image, so she spoke in return. Thanks, Mr. Joseph, CEO of JF Company. Oh, Mr. Joseph, I've heard about your company, she said, just as business talk, nothing much, but it would have been more better if you have heard about me, he said with a little smirk that didn't went unnoticed by Ryan. So she squatted a little back from her seat as Joseph spoke again. I hear you are doing a great partnership with June, he said. He was not liking the word partnership, but Ryan took the chance to appreciate June's in front of his anime business fellow. Absolutely, and I'm so glad to work with such experienced, idealistic and mature person. It's an honor. Her smile was no less than a sharp on neck for Joseph, but he kept his cool and tried to be free. Successful men like me don't get a chance to meet a lady like you in daily life. So, would you like to have a drink with me and also dance, please? Ryan didn't feel good to agree with it, and also her feet was hurting, so she refused his offer. I'm sorry, Mr. Joseph, I can't. It's not a big deal, Ryan. Come on. He held her wrist as she refused. No, Mr. Joseph, I'm not feeling good, please. But Ryan, before he said further, Avani hand grabbed Joseph's wrist and separated his hand from Ryan's hand. It is better if we don't make a scene here, or the loss will be only yours, Jungkook said with his furious dark orbs. Controlling himself, Joseph understood as whatever he do here, he will be on loss. So he left while glaring at Jungkook while Jungkook's eyes became soft when they diverted to Ryan. He didn't hurt you, right? Ryan shook her head as no, but he felt like she was feeling uncomfortable, so he intervened his hand with her and gestured her to come with him. Ryan didn't say anything and went with him. As they were in hallway, Ryan stumbled a little because her feet were hurting. Jungkook sighed and asked her, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, just my feet is hurting because of heels." Ryan bent down to rub her, but Jungkook called her and as she looked up at him, she understood he was asking for permission. She thought and nodded. Jungkook carefully wrapped her arms around his neck and picked her up in bridal style. Ryan got shy a little as he took her face in his chest. Jungkook smirked a little at her action. He took her inside a hotel bedroom and placed her on bed. As she sat with the support of headboard of bed, as her back and headboard of bed came in contact, she released a relaxing sigh, but suddenly she felt a hand on her feet. She looked down to see Jungkook removing her heels. As she panicked, Mr. Jung, no need to do that. I can do it myself. Please leave it. Jungkook didn't look up, still holding her feet and opening the ribbon of her heel. He spoke. "Did I ask for your permission, Miss Park, Ryan?" Finally, he looked up as heels were removed. He looked in her eyes, that only his soul staring was melting her. She looked to the other side, but then as she looked again forward, she gasped, seeing him this close to her. He was so close to her that maybe the clothes on their different body parts already touched. She placed her head on headboard to increase the distance, but their hands touched with each other. Ryan's breathing got heavy and her chest started to rise up and down due to heat because of closeness of their bodies. Jungkook was looking at her like his life depended on it. He was not even blinking a little. Suddenly, Jungkook's gaze went towards her dry lips on which he was biting because of nervousness. His eyes didn't left the view as he started to lean towards her. Ryan also slowly closed her eyes with sweat forming on her head and on palms. Their lips almost touched and